Wow, everybody. So the town got some money to redo it because y'all know about the floods. Well, there's all these empty houses all over town with mold in them. There was a dead body found in one not even a couple of years ago, from an overdose. There's homeless people living in and out of them. And all of a sudden, because they got this money, I come home the other day and there's a letter in my mailbox telling me that I have to get rid of the camper and RVs that's been there for 2 years. Uh, but there's nothing in these papers, anything about an RV. So somehow they're trying to consider them to be a public nuisance or something of that nature. But anyway, so they write up all these new rules that look like you live in Russia, where they can enter your house, your property, tell you that you have to paint it or you have to do this and that. Y'all, I read these papers and I'm fuming. I'm flabbergasted. Um, how I mean, and if you don't get what they want done in 10 days because they changed the rules and they decided to go out and harass everybody. Um, they give you 10 days, and if you don't, they can have you arrested for a misdemeanor. Um, if you don't let them on your property, there's things in here that says that they can come into your property. If they deem your house to be unfit, they can condemn it. They can put a lien against it. Y'all, this stuff sounds like the rules are worse than any HOA I've ever seen. I mean, these are way worse than an HOA. Hell, I'm telling you, it sounds like Russia. When I get more time, I will read some of this to you. Might have to do it in several different videos. But here it says if any person having been ordered to abate such a public nuisance fails, neglects, or refuses to abate or remove the condition constituting the nuisance. Now, don't ask me how an RV or a camper is considered a public nuisance. Within 10 days from receipt of the order or posting of the same, the police chief shall cause the condition to be removed or otherwise remedied by having agents or employees of the town go upon your premises and remove or otherwise abate the nuisance under the supervision of an office or employee designated by the council. The authorized representative of the police chief shall have a right of entry upon any facility where entry is necessary to carry out the provisions of this chapter. Y'all, does that not sound like Russia? It sounds like it's against my constitutional rights. If consent for entry is not obtained, an administrative search and inspection warrant shall be obtained. However, if an imminent hazard to life, health, or the environment exists, no warrant is required for entry upon the premises. So they can just trespass and do whatever they want to on your property that you pay taxes on. Does that sound right to y'all? Any person who has been ordered to abate the public nuisance may request in writing with the town to remove the conditions. Okay, anyway, cut it short, in which they charge you. However, the town, in its discretion and without cause, may refuse the request. Anyway, y'all, this is just a little part of it. Um, but I have never, and there's nothing in here nowhere about uh, RVs, motorhomes, or anything like that. It says nothing about that. Um, but at any rate, they can tell you that you have to paint your house, you have to stain your porch. If it's not good enough, you have to tear it down. In other words, they can tell you how to live. They can come in your house and say, oh, this isn't fit, you got to do this. Now, this is America the last time I remembered. I'm going to have to call legal aid and see what can be done about all this. And get the people in Bear Bluff to file petitions to get this stopped. Because I don't see how an RV or a recreational vehicle of any kind is considered health and sanitation or a nuisance to anyone. They're not on anybody's property, they're on mine. How is it bothering anybody else in the town? What they need to be concerned about is all these empty houses that drug addicts, drunks, and homeless people are living in that's full of mold and mildew. And they didn't like it when I said something about that today. But I haven't spoke to the main person that sent me this letter. And I told him, I said, well, you're going to have to give me time. Look, I want to get rid of them, but it's been either thunderstorming or 115 degrees. I can't get out there and clean them up and empty them out and get them sold if I'm fighting against the weather. I mean, I'm going to need time. I'm a single, disabled, elderly woman. So I'm going to have to call legal aid and give them these papers, and probably have to call WEZT, which is the news team, to investigate all this because y'all, something's not right. All right, I'll talk at you later.